What up, everybody? We are missing Cash tonight, and he is sick in bed, or he is a really good faker. Which one is it, Russo?
I think he's got the black lung. I'm pretty sure because he's black. He's got the black. I'm sorry, he's not black. He's an American. That's right. No, we just talked to Cash, and I'm not gonna lie. He looked pretty rough. He looked like he had a whole situation going on. But in his absence, I asked you guys to like this video, share this video, and do all of the things with this video.
Is that what Cash says, though?
Cash said, "Look, motherfucker, I need you to share this video." That's what he says.
I'm pretty sure it's a little bit different than that, but that's all right. I'll take the white boy version. Everybody, I see you starting to show up in here. Throw in some comments where you're at. Let's get some people going because right now it's really slow.
It's violent. It gets the people going.
So we are going to be talking about a lot of Joe Biden today, actually, after thinking about it. A lot of this is about Joe Biden and deep fakes, per the White House, deep fakes, celebrities and their endorsements, and then maybe some Amnesty stuff. So everybody will want to share this out so we can go over it. And Oklahoma. So who are you waiting for? We were trying to find some links, so it took a minute.
Yeah, we were trying to find some links because it's incredibly hard to find the truth, the original video that is being called the deep fake, even though that's the real video. I hate everything about this planet.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's bad. I'm just sick of this schnikers. I don't want to swear until 5 minutes into the video.
We're swearing already.
Dang. I said schnikers. I'm waiting to swear until we get a little bit more in there. I'm passing by Cheyenne Frontier Days right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that's the one with the gigantic
it's huge
stadium, right?
It's a big boy. I was like, what am I passing by? Then I saw Cheyenne Frontier Days. I'm heading up to Casper, Wyoming right now.
Yeah, that's a drive. I've done that from here. But that's what we're talking about, guys. It looks like we're finally getting people in here. Let me go ahead and share this out a little bit on X. So keep the comments coming. I see we got Marla, we got Michelle, we have Danny. We need to keep it going. So throw in the comments where you're watching from so we can break the algorithm, get this out there. And I am just reposting and some sharing some crap because we don't have Russo and Cash 100% here to fill the air while I do that.
I just got notified that you reposted by Casey on X, so I think you're doing your due diligence. Oh, which reminds me, I need to make sure my do not disturb is on. So you go ahead and keep chattering,
yes,
so I don't get so rudely interrupted.
It will. Yes. All right. So we are talking about all of those things that we just covered. One of the things that we are going to be starting with is a little clip from Joe Biden that we need to cover, and that is what is being falsely shared out and saying that Joe Biden is not actually freezing.
Hey, can you hold on, Casey? Hold on a second. Take that off the screen. Take it off the screen. Take it off.
You're such a control freak.
You're hosting the show this week. You're supposed to say, "Hey, anything fun happened this weekend? Maybe we both get to wish each other a happy Father's Day, and then I get to brag about interviewing Tom Brady." But no, you go straight into this week, Joe Biden. But no, it's okay. No big deal. I didn't have any big news this weekend. I didn't get to just talk to and interview the GOAT, the greatest quarterback of all time. No, it's okay, Case. You do you, boo-boo. Just kidding. But I really did. I got to interview Tom Brady this weekend. I'm done. Yeah. Honestly, when I was doing radio yesterday morning, they're like, I hear he really is that good looking in person. I go, I'm not going to lie. It was 96 degrees. He had no sweat on him. He was in a full blown suit. He was like everything was perfectly pressed. I'm like, this son of a bitch. It's a good looking man. That's all I got to say.
Well, it's really easy. We can just pay somebody to do all of those things, and then you just put on clothes.
Yeah, and Casey sent me a thing of Giselle, his ex-wife, the article read that he wasn't with his children that because he was technically hanging out with me. And I honestly, he's not that much older than me, but I will call him dad if he wants me to.
You just like being the power bottom, is what I'm hearing. So
to Tom Brady, I would be honored.
The important part, I'm actually surprised I didn't even call this out beforehand. Russo, you are in a car. Please look out for stalled vehicles on the side of the road. Please.
I'm not driving.
Okay, Karine Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, I feel like
you belong in the White House.
That's a deep fake. I feel like the Biden administration. All right, now Casey, happy Father's Day. Did you do anything fun this weekend for Father's Day? Did you get anything special?
Yeah, we hung out at home. We just came back from the mountains traveling to get out of the heat. But yeah, we hung out as family, had some fun, went out to dinner. Yeah, nothing super crazy. I'm not major into holidays. I think holidays are created to push an agenda for people to keep spending money. So
holiday, more like holiday. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Wow, you are just not on it right now. This clip is Joe Biden with Jimmy Kimmel and Barack Obama on stage. I don't remember where this was at.
It was something. We'll just call it some weird celebrity fest. And Jimmy, here's the thing. Everybody is seeing the other clip of this because it's being called a deep fake. This is the first thing I saw, and the first thing I saw being shared. And this is what the White House is being called a deep fake. Do you also, out of curiosity, Casey, have the other version of this as well?
Other version.
The one where they cut away really far.
I don't think I've seen that. I can see if I can
find it. Go ahead. We'll find that in a second because sorry, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. The key behind this is the fact that they're using what would be considered fake footage to disprove what is real footage and calling this fake. So go ahead and play this first.
Okay, let's go ahead and play this. My internet is warning me. Hang on one second. Let me fix this.
Warning. So while he's looking for it, I'll preface this. They're calling this deep fake gate. They're blowing this out of proportion, saying that the conservative networks are missharing this footage and the footage, the paratroopers with Joe Biden turned the wrong way, saying that the conservative media is creating their own narrative, which is absolutely hilarious. They don't even know this is we know that the White House and the Biden administration lies like crazy. Okay, so Denise said Dan Bongino had both videos on Rumble today. We know that they lie. We know what they do. This one, instead of changing their narrative, they are literally doing the rules for radicals playbook and blaming the conservative media, the very small conservative media, that they're creating a deep fake like they don't know what a deep fake is. A deep fake means it's manipulated by AI. Instead, it's just actually steady cam footage where they don't cut to a faraway clip. Anyways. I don't know if that gave you enough time to stall and find that other.
We'll give this a run. We'll give this a run here. Long one, but he is not. Biden paused amid cheers and applause as he exited the stage. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I have no idea what they're talking about there. But what happened was Biden gets up, they start to walk away, and I know that might have been a little bit choppy, but if you do the count yourself, it's about 6 or 7 seconds. He waves. Biden waves at the crowd. I can find see it's on every other platform, every other media that you'll see it, and the way that they're countering this narrative. So he gets up off stage. He already looks like typical Joe Biden, slow moving, whatever. He waves his hand at the crowd that's applauding. And then all of a sudden he puts his hands down, takes a couple steps, and then looks back at the crowd and freezes. Actually freezes for about 6 to 8 seconds, where he's just staring, hand not up, hand locked, like his hands locked in place, just the exact same as when it would during that Juneteenth concert. He's frozen for about 6 to 8 seconds. Biden turns, looks at him, grabs him not by his hand, by his wrist. That's like a thing you do for elderly patients, elderly people. Grabs him by his wrist and walks him off stage, clearly pretends to talk to him like, hey, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's what happened. Now, if you find the other footage, what they're going to say why this is fake, this one actually looks like it's, well,
this one's a little bit more zoomed in. I wanted to show the grab by the wrist. Like, this is him freezing.
He is frozen. He is absolute frozen there. Everybody else, look, there it is. Had to wake Joey Basements back up. So they're saying this is a deep fake. Now, the footage that they are countering this with to say this is incorrect because they know that their people don't watch anything outside of CNN or MSNBC. They're playing a version saying, look, he's waving at the crowd. So while he's waving at the crowd, they have that angle that you just saw. And then the moment that he freezes, they cut to a wide clip from 18 miles away, and then they zoom back in once he starts moving again. That is the ultimate level of tomfoolery, ballyhoo, and fuckery that they are doing there. And I'm past 6 minutes, so I'm gonna swear. So that if Casey, if you can find it, try to find that clip. It's every other thing. And Karine Jean-Pierre, that's what they're talking about. They literally avoid the zoomed in version to prove their narrative. It's absolutely absurd.
So when they go to the faraway view, let me share this real quick. This is one that they start with.
That's the view that that's so okay. That's not it though.
Okay, because this one starts that way, zooms in.
That's what Newsweek had. Newsweek actually had the original footage still up when I looked for it. But there's most of the counterintelligence, the CNNs, whatever it was, the ones that I've seen today where they're counterbalancing the narrative, use the zoomed in to start and then peel away on that clip if you can find it. If anybody has the clip, you could also put it in the comments. If you know where the video is, you can help us out. We're down a man today, and I am in the passenger seat of a car.
Yeah, that I can't seem to find exactly, but it's algorithm based, right? So
so they know what you're of it.
I'm not going to be able to find the other side very easily. But yeah, I don't see it in here as standing out as easily as it should be to find. Unfortunately, the algorithms are causing problems.
Well, that's funny that you can't see. All I could find earlier was the far away version one.
You almost voted for RFK, so that's
shut up. That's I am on my phone though, and I'm using Google instead of DuckDuckGo on my phone, which might be it as well. So
I believe they said it's on the Biden-Harris website. Let me look that up real quick.
Biden-Harris website. It might be on Biden HQ. Might be in a couple different places.
Biden HQ, good call.
That one, I'm almost positive it's there.
It's got to be Biden HQ. They do everything that's bass backwards over there.
No kidding. By the way,
TDS. Go ahead, man.
Well, no, keep looking. But while you're at it, everybody here knows that Cash can do a good Donald Trump impersonation. I cannot. This weekend, when I was doing the UFL Championship in St. Louis, they've got all these slogans that are also all very funny. And one of the hats they have is "Make St. Louis," because they're the Battlehawks, caw again. And I thought it was hilarious. And for some odd reason, with the microphone, with the way that the audio is set up, and the way that I let in with "Make St. Louis caw again," for some odd reason, I was able to do a Donald Trump impersonation for the first time in my life. I couldn't do it afterwards. I talked crap about my abilities, and everybody's like, "That's really good." So I kept doing it. They lost to San Antonio the week before. I said, "They lost to a team near the border. It wasn't whatever." I can't do it now, but I was crushing a Donald. You all would have been so proud of me. So proud of me. And I can't duplicate it ever again. But I crushed the Donald Trump impersonation this last week.
There you go. Nice. Next time, record it. This one was shared by dipshit Harry Sisson. And that's the person I was thinking of that would probably have
Harry Sissy.
It definitely paid by the Biden campaign. We'll get into that in a minute.
Go for it. Let's show this. This is what they're countering the narrative with.
This might not have audio, I guess. Yeah.
The audio doesn't matter. It doesn't
no
matter.
Audio. But let's see. So all of this, and then here he waves, and then it's just after this is when he freezes. Yep. And right here. That is him freezing. Yep. Oh,
and then bam.
Nothing.
And then they cut away.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Look at how far away they cut. And then they come right back. Once, like, you cannot manipulate the viewer's brain any more than they did right there. And then to say that this is disproving that is such a that is as dirty and as ridiculous as it can possibly get. Like,
right.
How far can they go to try to prove that this man is not a vegetable at this point?
They can't. And that goes along with what I wanted to share, which is the clip from Joe Biden earlier today, which I find hilarious.
And I haven't seen this yet.
We can't even go 24 hours from the White House saying these are deep fakes and nothing, like, we are being lied. All of these lies, it's not true. Da, 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 da. I'm pulling it up real quick. Hang on one second. There we go.
I'm assuming Waz shared us. I don't know where our viewers are coming from, but we got a decent crowd right now. So shout out to Waz. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Okay, here we go. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Riveting 9 seconds of your life.
Oh, wait. Did you see who's behind? Is that Chuck Schumer behind him right there?
Yeah. Mr. Raw Burgers with Cheese. Yes.
Yeah, why don't you go? Clearly, God, it's such a beta, whatever. Go ahead, play it.
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary.
Hang on. Volume was down. My bad, guys. Let me turn this back up. We'll go back.
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure who that is.
Did you even catch that? Watch the gears try to turn in his head. Try.
Members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure who that is.
Oh my God.
This is literally elder abuse at this point. Literally.
So, by the way, everything I'm seeing, and do you have the one also of him with the parachuter? The one that I asked you, I go, is this really real? Because they've countered that narrative as well. They've tried to counter that narrative as well. The thing with this is everybody and their mother now is saying there's no way that the Democrats can let him go all the way until the election if they want to win, because there's just no way. So now everybody that I see is on the bandwagon that he will not be the Democrat nominee at this point. Actually, Newsom to be right now, if you do Vegas betting odds, Michelle Obama is actually higher, even though I think she has no chance that she'll be running. She, whatever you want to call it. But Gavin Newsom is like 50-1 odds that he'd be the Democrat nominee. And I'm like, I mean, I feel like that's taking candy from a baby. I need to put my money where my mouth is on that one. There's no other option. Kamala Harris is listed on there too, as she's more of a favorite, but they can't have her be they can't put somebody in there that has no chance to beat Trump. So
correct.
I think that more and more every day, there's just no chance that he doesn't get replaced by the Democratic National Convention.
Well, and this kind of plays into it a little bit. Like, is this the left's agenda to start painting this picture? They're going to start saying, oh, no, he's not that bad. And then here in about a month, they're going to be able to come around and be like, oh, wait a minute. Sorry. We actually see it now. We feel bad. Because the part that I do not believe, the mess up in Ohio for Joe Biden to end up on the ballot, that was not an accident.
No.
DNC was trying to put this off in figuring out, can we run with him or not? Is this going to keep working? And then insert somebody else. They tried to delay it as long as they can. And that's why this whole thing happened.
Right.
But here is the parachute and him walking away, that I do not believe for one bit that this is digitally altered in any way?
No, it's not. But they actually answered this in a different way, and I'll tell you why in a second.
Even look at that lady. Just, oh, where's he going? Anybody want to pull on the leash? Oh, let's just drift with him. Let's make it look like we're supposed to do this.
Okay. And he even looks even more. Oh, look at him. Look at it. Put the dark Brandon glasses on.
Right.
Okay, so the White House's response, because again, they don't know what a deep fake is. And honestly, I watched that at first and I thought that the camera, like the video quality was kind of weird. But it's real. It is real. I've seen it as a high res image as well. It's completely real. So the way that they countered this, they call it, they're like, these are all deep fakes because they're too fucking old and stupid to know what a deep fake is. It's not digitally enhanced. What they're saying is it's cropped and you don't see that there's another parachutist that lands and he's looking at them, which I can see that. There is 100% another parachutist that dropped where Joe Biden is looking. The issue is the fact that clearly is not the parachutist that everybody is supposed to be paying attention to. Everybody that is there knows that the focus, because it's called a photo op, they're doing something where they say, all right, this guy's going to come down here. And then when this guy comes down, we all look at him, we snap photos, we shake his hand, we do whatever it is. That's all we got to do. Joe Biden is focusing on the wrong person because he doesn't know where the hell he is. There is a parachuter there that lands that he is looking at, but he is too out of his mind to realize which parachutist he's supposed to be focusing on a moment where he is standing with global leaders from all over the world and has to have some random woman that is clearly there to wrangle the dementia-ridden patient into correcting where he's supposed to be looking. And still, Karine Jean-Pierre will call this a deep fake. And the fact that Joe, again, not knowing what a deep fake is, and that Joe Biden was simply just looking at one of the other parachutists. Yes, that is true. But the part that is also true is that he was not supposed to be looking at that parachutist.
No. And if he is the leader of the free world and all there, you wouldn't be staring off into space like that at an event like this. You would know, hey, I need to be paying attention. I need to be engaged. I need to be this person. But clearly, he does not have that ability. And this is coming to show that he is not fit to be president. 25th Amendment should be pulled immediately.
He's not fit to work at a Walgreens. He's not fit to work at a Walgreens. Like, I mean, and let's be serious.
Like, what's wrong with the door greeter? Yeah, I was going to pull that up.
I don't even think he could do it. I don't, at this point, he is so cognitively declined. The only time he's half focused is when he's jacked up with God knows what kind of barbiturates. I actually heard, was it Joe Rogan? I heard Joe Rogan talk about what he would do if he was Biden's team, like what kind of regimen he would get him on. Like it was talking about before the debate, like getting him out of, like not doing a certain amount of sugar, put him on a whole bunch of nootropics, make sure that he has like X, Y, like he literally goes, this is the formula that I would do to make him do as good as he possibly can do. And it was a whole week flushing process and making sure he was getting the proper amount of sleep going into it. And it's like, that's what they're going to have to do for him to even be halfway decent during the debates. My answer to this question, Danny Wilson, is, I've been saying it since day one, Gavin Newsom.
I think that's more and more likely. I've been saying Big Mike, but I'm starting to see that's probably not going to happen.
That was the prime minister of Italy that pulled him back over. I did not know that. I didn't know who she was.
Yeah, so it will probably be Gavin Newsom, and we'll just see how it goes. I would say, as if this keeps going as south as it quickly is going, they may not even try it. They may just put Kamala up and just take an L.
I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. Or they've got, and people are starting to talk now. It's like they're pulling out every stop. I love the thing I saw, 72 or however many years, 72 years alive, for Donald Trump, never once got in trouble with the law, and then, tries to run for president and he's got more indictments and convictions. Like, that should tell you something. But now it's at the point where it's like, if they can't stop this train, even with criminal indictments, like, do we actually? And I saw JP Sears talking about this, who I really, his content is as spot on as humanly possible. Do we have to start worrying about, like, the last thing that they're going to pull is assassinating Donald Trump? Like, if they can't win fairly, because again, I don't think any of their candidates should be able to. I do think, and I talk to a lot of people, a lot of radio people when I do Fox radio circuit, and they're like, Gavin Newsom sucks. Everybody knows he sucks. He can't win. I go, I don't know about that. He does suck 100%. But we saw what he did against DeSantis, which everybody on the left was like, he did pretty good. Everybody on the right was like, he lost that debate. I don't think he lost the debate because of what he's done in California, but he didn't really lose the debate. And fact is, if they enter a replacement for Biden like Newsom late enough, nobody is going to be able to. There's going to be a very different educational curve on how bad Gavin Newsom would be for the country. So all they're going to get is the ability for the American people that are middle ground voters to go, oh, finally somebody that's not Trump and Biden. He's younger. He's from our biggest state that's got the most GDP. He's got to be the right pick. And it takes time to educate the American people on what he's done to destroy California. And if they do it late enough and they insert him late enough, it will be too late to change that narrative, which is why I've said we should have been doing this already. We should have already been campaigning. Joe Biden campaigns against himself by himself. It doesn't take much. We should be campaigning against every potential Democrat candidate at this point.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. There's nothing you're going to be able to do to be able to counter the momentum that Trump has. There's just not. And the thing that the left thinks that is going to work is attacking him more. All that does is build a bigger base. And so I think it's all useless. And maybe the left will probably start seeing that. I don't know. They're so dumb that we might not. But let's see. If you're not being prosecuted by the extreme left, you're doing something wrong. You're right, Waz.
So good.
You are right.
So good.
The next topic, because we talked about deep fakes. What was the other ones? Oh, the
celebrities.
Yeah,
hilarious.
So, I assume this is coming up because of Jack Black. Is that what
the Jack Black thing's hilarious because Jack Black literally, and I do like Jack Black, he literally admitted what he was doing in the beginning of that video. If you saw what for 2 minutes, he pretty much talked about, he's like, they asked if I could come and I was like, hell yeah. And it was a stand-up routine for him. He got to get back in front of his people. And he talked for 2 minutes. He made jokes about his own career. He's like, I was, fortunately, I had to choose between this and a bar mitzvah and all these different things, essentially talking about that he is washed up. His career hasn't done much in a while, which again, he's a successful comedian, actor, musician. I truly do appreciate his body of work. At the same token, he's a guy that's always been he's made his money by being full of free speech, and I think it's ironic that he's representing Joe Biden. But in that 2 minutes, not once did he say anything positive about Joe Biden. He just said, I couldn't wait to be a part of the campaign to save democracy, talked about the fact that he was washed up, probably needs the money. And also, I mean, it's very evident. He's paid to be there. He was treating it like a paid gig. That's not like Trump doesn't pay people to be there. If they're gonna be there, he gets these people are risking their career to speak out for Trump. That's the difference between the two campaigns. Oh, you got to go ahead and play it.
Yeah, if we want to play it. But the part that I was bringing this up, would you vote with anybody with a face on a shirt with red eyes? Would you vote for anybody that has a shirt like that?
Would you take anybody serious that I mean, again, loved a lot of his work, but would you hey, where are you getting your voting advice from? That guy. Okay. That's and people talk, they're like, yeah, well, what about you like Kid Rock? And I'm like, honestly, I love that Kid Rock, makes some songs fighting for Donald Trump and fighting for freedom, fighting for the constitutional republic and democracy. I love that he does that. He's not the reason I'm voting for Donald Trump.
No, not at all.
And he's not getting paid by Donald Trump either.
It's so ridiculous. We'll give this a run.
Play Chubby Bunny.
Clooney and Julia Roberts wanted.
There, I had to go back.
A few days ago, my manager called me and said George Clooney and Julia Roberts wanted me to help out the president and speak here tonight. And I said, I am in. When and where? And thank you.
And how much? And how much?
And then they said, Jack, we know how busy you are. You don't have time. Look at all the other events that are happening tonight that you already turned down. MC at the Fliegelman Bat Mitzvah. The opening of the new Jack in the Box in Oxnard. Judge at the 2nd annual Imperial Valley Avocado Festival. You don't see that on Meryl Streep's resume. I said, I know I turned them down.
Just look at him. Like, I can't even take him serious, like, in this situation. So anybody on the left that looks at this and is applauding it and saying, like, yes, he's on my side. Sorry, but you're still taking an L because this is not making any sense.
But my president needs me.
My president needs me.
Thank you. And then they hit me with the big one. They said, Jack, you can't go. You have nothing to wear. Your good suit is in the cleaners. Well, were they wrong? Because I had this to wear. My kick-ass American flag overalls. Most patriotic outfit of all times.
Trying to be American. Yeah, whatever.
That shut them up. There wasn't much they could say after that. And when the president wins in November, yeah! I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a sweet shout out in his victory speech for what I gave up to be here. Because when democracy is at stake,
we are not
Jack
a democracy.
Black answers the call. Mr. President, you're welcome. That's not the president. That's not Judge. It's a random dude. But I thought it would look better if I talked right to a guy.
That was actually pretty funny.
He is funny. He is funny.
He is. But that, I mean, that right, there's not a single educational piece of information. Like, say I were to go up and do something like that at a pro-Trump event, that you would make comedy, mix it in with why it's a good idea. Like, what things would be better. Like, you know, you can make jokes like, I don't know about you, but I don't really want 500,000 people just getting to stay here and take away, you know, whatever. Like, there has to be some kind of truth in comedy. All that was just being funny, admitting that he needed a paycheck, admitting that his manager got reached out to. There's a difference. If your manager is getting called, that means it's a job opportunity. This isn't Jack Black goes, I'm relevant. I need to call Joe Biden and be like, Joe, I want to help you. No, they're all taking paychecks. The social media influencers, and you were about to talk about Harry Sissy, whatever the frig his name is. You're like, all it is they're using marketing dollars to pay people to say vote for Joe Biden without ever saying why to vote for Joe Biden. You've got your slogan, save democracy, vote for Joe, Trump is bad. That's all they've got.
Yep. Those are their main talking points. Every time Joe Biden gets a microphone, he says those things, right?
Yeah.
And that is what they're running on the left. It's falling apart. It's not working anymore. The right is only getting stronger. And you have the middle group that just blew themselves up with the Libertarian Party. I don't see this election going any other way, even if we had lockdowns again. I don't see this election changing.
That's why I'm afraid of because again, everything that could potentially get exposed. Like, I mean, we continue to talk about the fact that Epstein's list and all of the people that are tied into these groups all of this stuff is going to come to a head if Trump wins, and they're doing everything they can. And if they can't do anything else, what would be the next step? And the next step is ending Donald Trump. Let's be very clear.
Yeah, it could be. I don't think they have the cojones to do it, but we'll find out. Honestly, Trump has Secret Service around him, so it's going to take for them to do anything. They're going to have to do something pretty severe.
What are they? Yeah, but you could pay off. So I mean, let's hope not. But whatever. Everybody's got a price. Hopefully not, though. What were you going to say about Sisson? Sisson. Did you know something about it?
Well, Harry Sisson is known to be paid by the Biden administration to be doing videos that promote Joe Biden's content because he's young and he's going to be bringing in people potentially, because I don't see it happening. But Harry Sisson is known to be receiving payments from the Biden administration.
Got it.
And
what do you think about? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, and that's why this whole thing is just all a sham. You go and look at anything the Biden administration is trying to push, and then go and look at a day or two later at Harry Sisson on X, and you will see that content put up. It's like just clockwork, just done. Maybe Harry can run Joe Biden's X profile. Maybe.
Maybe.
You're cutting out. I can kind of understand your robot voice saying that you got 1 bar of service. So you might be coming back. We're going to find out. The other topic that we have to talk about here coming up is maybe. And there he is.
I see. Oh, I got 2 bars. I saw it all of a sudden fall off the table. Anyways, real quick, because again, you might be ending the show. I'm back to 3 bars. We should be good. What do you think of RFK wishing Trump a happy birthday? I mean, I think everything that I saw there is just screaming RFK is going to have a big role in the Trump administration.
RFK having a role in the Trump administration? I think it's possible. They're good. They're friends. We've been saying this for months. These 2 guys are friends. So we even threw out the idea that they would potentially be VP and president and POTUS. But after seeing RFK being super sold into this campaign, yeah. But I will say, I am not convinced that this isn't a ploy that Donald Trump came up with to pull votes from Joe Biden and ensure they can't cheat enough to win again. And so I wouldn't be surprised one day if we find that out, that RFK was only running to be able to sink the Biden administration and guarantee a Donald Trump election.
Well, if you look at his VP, that the VP choice for RFK being who she is, like, for a while he was pulling 50-50 from both sides. Now the chick that he has as VP is a previous huge mega left donor. I can't imagine that wasn't I think he sees the writing on the wall. He's going to get some votes. He's staying very relevant. That selection right there solidified that the people that were leaning towards him, that were on the right, are not going to vote for him anymore, and the people on the left, he might be able to draw some more votes. That's my belief system.
Facts. I'm still holding on until I find out otherwise. I think it was a plan by Joe Biden and RFK, not Joe Biden, Trump and RFK, to put RFK in the mix just to pull from the left.
I think so. I think that's what it's ending up to be. But it could have started that way. All right, let's we got one final topic, right? Oh, real quick, let's talk about Casey's rocking some merch. I'm going ninja all black on stuff right now, but make sure you check out awakenotwokestore.com for all of your conservative needs. I was rocking my Vote for Trump shirt that I know Waz has promoted. We've promoted it. Go ahead and throw, if you can, in the banners, throw the awakenotwokestore.com on there. Use Truth for 20% off. It was the most uncomfortable I have ever felt at an airport wearing our clothes. And I wear the unvaccinated lives matter. I wear all the different stuff we have. I had a couple people when they saw the proud to be voting for a convicted felon Trump 2024 shirt. And I'm going to tell you, there was the angriest looks I've ever gotten was with that shirt from 40 to 60-year-old white women at the airport. They were just piping mad at me, just furious for having that shirt on. So I find that interesting. Like, I had a couple people like fist pound. Actually, no fist pounds. There was fist bump. Did I say pound? Fist bumps. There was none of that. It was actually some people kind of like pulled me aside. By the way, white person, 2 white guys, one very liberal looking white guy that I was shocked that liked it. one black guy and one Indian guy. 5 people at the airport all said something, all different races in the group. Not a single woman, though, interestingly enough. But I think that the white liberal suburban woman vote is going to be that problem. But anyways, yeah. So I felt more judged with that shirt than any of the other shirts I have ever worn.
That's hilarious. Want to know
which makes me love it, by the way. Which makes me love the shirt.
Oh, whatever. You're an RFK fan. You're like, I'm making people feel bad. When it comes to shirts, what do you wear the day that you have jury selection? You wear your "Truth Will Set You Free" shirt, and then when they ask you in your interview, "Hey, what does your shirt say?" "Truth will set you free," and so maybe that's why I didn't get picked for jury duty today. So, just as a tip for everybody, if you ever have jury duty, make sure you just wear your "Truth Will Set You Free" shirt. That will probably help you out.
This quote from Sarah.
Yes.
So good.
Oh man.
All right, final topic, because we're gonna have a short show today. Go ahead, Case.
We're at 40 minutes. It's not that short, man.
I know.
Amnesty, 550,000 immigrants are going to be granted amnesty in the United States per Joe Biden, and they are spouses of people that are already citizens. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, as I see it tick down the bar, I hope it is it frozen? Am I good? Am I good?
No, you might be coming back already. All right. I was going to jump in and talk about it.
All right, am I back? There was a big mountain over there. You got me now? All right, real quick. God damn it, I'm at one bar. All right, so it's called buying votes. That's what this is. I'm not opposed to what it's doing, because I think that it's people that are already married, they've been here, and there's a certain time limit on where it works. And it's like, you know what? If you've got half the family here and it's legit and they've been here for a period of time, great. But in the end, let's say if you want to avoid jury telling you believe in jury nullification, that's great. But ultimately, when you look at it, you just bought 500,000 votes of people that have been trying to get their husbands and wives legal citizenship and not been able to do it. You're essentially buying 550,000 votes by making an executive action in this sense. That's all that it is. It's all that it is. Period.
Yeah. Well, that's the only thing they can do. We know the Biden administration, their greatest skill set is to be able to buy votes. Why do you think they've been giving back student loan forgiveness so much and pushing that agenda is to buy some votes? Why do you think that they have been expunging people's records with cannabis or marijuana? They've been trying to buy votes to where they can bring people in and pad their numbers, but it's not going to work. It can't work. There's not enough for them to do. Even if they were to legalize cannabis across the entire country, I don't think that would buy enough votes.
I agree. So, and honestly, I don't think Trump is opposed to. Trump's even spoken out about being middle ground on the pro-life, pro-choice argument, just for the sake of making sure that we can, bring the country back together on that topic. Same with marijuana. I don't think he's very strict on it. Now, this statement. So, what are we supposed to do? And I just said this. So the comment is: so what should we do with people that have been here for a decade and married to U.S. citizens? Deport them. So are you? Because I think it's 10 years and less. If they've been here 10 years and more, they are still eligible for deportation. My response to that is, you've been here for 10 fucking years. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. And I believe as though that's the way the executive action would be written. But when you look at the people from the first 10 years, I get it. Like, we have a broken policy. It's been broken for a very long time. I'm not opposed to it. I think the timing is suspect, to say the least. I don't believe in deporting the situation, the families, half of a family in a situation, especially when the man can work. And I know right now in the last couple of years, so it's difficult to find a job as an illegal alien, and our path to citizenship isn't great. Now, if you are married and both of you are illegal immigrants, you got to go home. If you have found a way to do this, it is worth a discussion. I don't know how to fix it, but right now it's clear that it's hypocritical. A week ago, Joe Biden is like, we are officially shutting down the border. We're deporting people. We're ending this. And then all of a sudden now he's like, with that said, for the 500,000 people that are legal voters that are married, we're going to get your 500,000 significant others, spouses. We're going to give them amnesty for a long period of time, as long as you check the vote. Because I mean, let's look at the timing. With the presidential election coming up, that's all going to change by executive order unless you vote for me. So that's the huge problem with it.
Yeah, and that's where I have a whole bunch of issues with it, but I'm okay with if they've been here for 10 years, they've been married, good. But there's one caveat. Michelle brings this up. I heard they have criminal records. If you have a criminal record, I don't care. We're deporting you instantly.
Doesn't matter.
None.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Married, purple, upside down pound cake. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And we can call it the Lake and Riley decision because that's all it is. Like that situation should tell us enough that we have to deport anybody that has a criminal record.
That's not the Lake and Rice decision anymore. There's the woman, the mother of 5 that just got R-worded and killed. They just found out. Well, actually, that I think might have happened before Lake and Rice. Or was it Lake and Rice or Lake and Riley? Lake and Riley, right?
Lake and Riley.
Lake and Riley. That happened before Lake and Riley, but they just now figured it out because they were able to trace DNA from a crime that he committed in a different state to that state, to then finding out that he was a hardened criminal in Mexico or wherever he came up from. So it's like, there's all these instances. Then you've got something just now that Casey and I both saw that were being shared before we got on here, which was a case of a man in New York beating the crap out of an illegal migrant that was beating and assaulting and R-wording a 13-year-old girl. Like, this has become an actual problem. If I was a woman and I was going to go for a jog, in an area that maybe isn't like densely populated, I would be concerned for my safety right now. And that is purely because of a weak on crime policy in Democrat-run cities, with the leadership of the federal government being Joe Biden, who has just let in a massive amount of not criminals, let in a massive amount of illegal immigrants without vetting them to know who is going to just be that person that pops up in the middle of the road. And you know what? I'm going to say something else, because I don't know if anybody watched the video that I talked about where I was talking to a homeless person for a while out in St. Louis. And homeless-ish, I don't know. He had a situation, but we had like an hour and 20-minute conversation, talked a lot about God. It was fascinating. There was a moment that he told me, and like, this is somebody that is a drug addict, admittedly a drug addict, somebody that has mental illness, clearly talked about it, all the different things. And again, this is an American citizen that we have to figure out how to help or fix or send to prison or whatever it is. And he talked about how, like, his mind got ahead of him, and he was like, I needed to be, I haven't been with a woman since I got out of prison. And all of a sudden, a couple of days ago, it like got into my mind that I need to be with a woman. And that doesn't mean like he needs to go on a date with a woman. He was saying that, thank God I did not act on it. I prayed to God to calm me down and to do whatever. But he was essentially admitting to me that he was mentally willing to potentially resort to the R word to fulfill his needs, especially because he was high at the time. And he broke down and talking to me, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I prayed with him. I did all the things with him, but think about all of these illegal migrants that can't get jobs. We don't know how many of them were criminals in their own country. And I'm not saying it's a high percentage, but 5% of millions is too many. 1% of millions is too many. And this is the thought processes that go through their heads. They might be fine one day, then they might be doing drugs the next day, and then they might act on their carnal needs the next day. And it could be your daughter, it could be your wife, it could be your friend. And if you're a lefty liberal and you're completely like, we just have to let them all in, the blood then falls on your hands. Period.
Agreed. Let me address this real quick. Hey, Waz, I get what you're saying. I should have elaborated a little bit more. If you are an illegal in the United States and you have a criminal record, we are not going to try to keep you in our country. We are going to deport you. Not that we're going to deport U.S. citizens.
That'd be kind of funny if we did that, though.
Yeah. Can we just blame the left and just deport them all, please?
Just support everybody. Support them all.
Let's do it. But yeah, when you talked about, I got in an argument with a special individual that is a senator here in Utah, complaining that we need to take care of these people. And I got looking up some stats. I'm seeing if I can quickly. Yes, I found it. So here is a stat that is super interesting, just to share with you. Nearly half of the illegal immigrants arrested in the United States in 2023 had multiple criminal charges. Nearly half
Jeez.
of the illegal immigrants arrested in the United States in 2023. That is
Awesome.
way too much. Deport them all. Like, deport every single one of them. If we want to take DEI seriously, deport every illegal.
Unreal.
But yeah,
I'm going to tell you. Go ahead. Well, you brought up DEI. This is always a soft subject this time of year. So I was in Omaha with my daughter, so it's College World Series time. And if anybody, I always have to make sure I tell this story because it's so friggin' mind-boggling. So I used to be the Jumbotron guy. I was on the big screen at the College World Series and several college championships for a long time. It's College World Series right now. I get a little sad because that was something I was like, I want to do this until they have to pull the microphone from my hands and they give me a plaque in the stadium. So COVID hit. They got rid of some of the veterans that worked for the NCAA. They gave them their severance because there was no events anymore. Events started to come back, and even the young ones that I bought drinks for several times in years past. And by the way, I've worked for the NCAA when I did it for a very discounted rate, very cheap, because I love the events. It's the shit I grew up watching. And it's DEI conversation. I wanted to get them on recording saying that because of my political post in the beginning of 2020, when they decided, they're like, they ghosted me. They stopped telling me why they weren't going to hire me. And they just all of a sudden, I'm like, am I going to work? Because you were telling me a couple months ago, can't wait for the season to come, like for events to come back, and then just gone. And it was right when I started posting against the vaccine, right when I started posting about how bad of a job Joe Biden was doing. And these younger people working for the NCAA that are super woke decided, we're going to go ahead and not reach out to Anthony anymore. So finally, I negotiated an exit interview. I go, I've given you 10 years of my life on and off doing these, not on and off, just during the championships. It's not a full-time gig. I think I would like some kind of exit interview. I got in a recording, a high up from the NCAA, which I just saw for the first time in 4 years in Arizona recently, telling me the reason why they had to, the reason they decided to move on is they wanted to make, this is real. And people wonder why I'm so anti, like, oh, it's, white people don't have it. And like, they're not flipping the script on white people. Like, it's still way harder for black people. No, it's actually not by percentage. It's equal at best, and it's not there. So they told me on this recorded call, tell all your friends, this is real. And I have it. Instead of saying it was politics, they say we needed to make a diversity hire, to which they did. There's been a black guy working there for 4 years. We needed to make a diversity hire, and we needed to make it a lower budget. We needed him to be paid as a local. I said, well, that could be your way out of this, but I've been paid as a local for the last 5 years because I have a house in Omaha. I was just making a certain rate per day, which, by the way, is a fraction of what I make on anything else. So I have it on a recorded line, the NCAA, the National Collegiate Athletic Association, saying that they needed to hire a black person to replace me and pay said black person less money. So that to me is as ridiculous as it can possibly get. So fun fact, that's the NCAA. And I shared that video, the recording of that, and for some odd reason it didn't go viral. And I think I should share that every month just to show who and what the NCAA is.
Yeah, I remember that when we went through that. Oh, was it last year? Was it last year we finally got that?
No. It was.
Was it 2 years ago?
No, it was 3 years ago is when I got the call. When I was able, it was 2020, 2021.
It seemed like forever you got closure.
It did. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing to call out here, Truth Seeker, just to call this out, what criminal charges though? Violent or like petty theft? I don't care. You are an illegal immigrant into the United States illegally. If you have a criminal record, I don't care.
Because it's strike two at that point. Because you've broken the law by crossing the border. So anything after that, if you steal a pack of bubble gum, get the fuck out. Like, and that's my belief. You literally, if you're gonna sneak in and you're gonna try to find a way to skirt underneath the radar, you better do everything in your power to not get in trouble or caught. So once you get caught doing something, you're out.
Even look at Canada. I have a friend that was denied getting into Canada because he had a DUI. Like,
Yeah, you can't. You still can't. You cannot go to if you have. Technically, I believe if you have a felony, you can't go. So I'm pretty sure Donald Trump can't technically go to Canada right now. But I
it's
know.
Trudeau's loss.
Yeah, right. I know for a fact with the DUI, you cannot go into Canada. That is a 100% fact. So legally.
Like, they should diversify basketball teams and get a short guys on the team. Well, yeah, they should actually hire short little Asians and put them on a basketball team. Because tell me what other short little Asians are on a basketball team. Mark Cuban.
Yao Ming was 7'4". With that said, though, the guy that filled in for me, I'm sure he's very good. Whatever. But the funny thing is, to show how difficult the gig is, not normal. He lost his voice the next year. Like when he replaced me, they ended up having to have a replacement for one of the days that he was working because he lost his voice. Again, where DEI strikes again. When somebody is not as good as somebody at doing something, they then needed to bring in a replacement, which is hilarious for a day. But whatever. It is what it is.
I have to call this one out. This one, like, literally is hilarious. David.
Yeah, right.
David's Canadian. He's saying just invade us and get it over with. I love you, man. That is hilarious. Well, we're at time. 55 minutes. We went almost the whole hour.
We did.
When Russo was like, "Oh, we're going to cut it short. We're going to be able to do that."
I was afraid that my signal was going to go away. We only had 2 little gaps. I'm in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming right now. It's like completely empty, and I've had just killer bang up service, and we got 460 people watching us. So if you feel the flow, keep riding with it. Also, guys, go to Century H2O. Can we go through the banners case?
Yep, I got
case it. Late. There you go. CenturyH2O.com. Use Russo10 for 10% off. Those are the water filtration systems that we have in our trailer, in the horse trailer in our house. My mom's got them. Best water you're going to drink, and you're saving actually money in the long run, even though with the discount they're about $300. But trust me, they're fantastic. A few of you people have bought it. Second, go to freedomboxinfo.com. Get registered on that page. We haven't reached. I know Cash was working the wellness company for a bit, and Freedom Box this last week getting people signed up. Again, it's just changing the place where you shop. I was having a whole conversation about network marketing and MLMs. This one, it is a little bit like network marketing, but it's really not at the same time because it's literally called e-commerce. So we're just changing where you shop. It's very simple. You're shopping the exact same things. You're not buying something different. Somebody reached out to me that I love when people whatever. They're trying to be like, well, you get involved, and then there's an upfront cost to just join the ability to actually sell the product. I go, you're hilarious. Leave me the fuck alone. Anyways, and he's like, no, I didn't mean anything by it, bro. But if you want to make some money, that's what you got to do. I'm like, I have to be very clear. The $250 you're asking, and then you have to buy the product on top of it, is you're tripping over dollars to pick up pennies. Because if you have the right people, if you want to charge $1,000 and that's how you're going to make your money, but $250 is the right amount that's going to make people go fuck yourself. And then at the same token, it's product that it was literally a product with alcohol in it. It was a product to make it so that you're not metabolizing the alcohol. It's a single item. It's something that you wouldn't typically buy as is. It's one of the things that I always think is really stupid. It's some kind of supplement by itself, and they want people to spend $250. You're shady as fuck. I'm sorry. And if you're watching this, yes, talking to you. I tried to go hard in the messages, but you tried to treat me nice, and I was like, I don't even know what to say because this is just, I'm talking to fucking stupidity right here. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent at the end of the show. So there it is. That's it, guys. AwakeNotWokeStore.com. Use use Truth for 20% off. AwakeNotWokeStore.com. All the shirts, a lot of new shirts. Do we have the cutoffs in there yet? By the way,
the cutoffs. Oh no, those are not done yet.
Not yet. They're good. We can put those up. They're legit. I like them. So I've been wearing them. They're good. We can put those back up in the store.
We'll have a couple of those because we have, I think it's a Streetlights one and a Vote for the Felon shirt and sleeveless. So we'll get those up.
And Trust God. I think Trust God was the other one.
Oh yeah, Trust God is the other one. Exactly.
Yeah.
Russo, are you going to Calgary this year?
Kelly did not. She wasn't pushing to qualify this year, so we will not. Actually, Casey, I didn't even tell you, but Kelly she's got a JJ type horse that just got offered to her from Tiani Schuster. So It's about a $300,000 gray that Kelly's going to be jump riding and seeing it out. So she's got a pony that won a whole bunch of money with Cassie Mowry. So we'll see if that's going to be the ticket.
Is that what she's bringing to Utah?
It'll be on the trailer. Yeah. She'll have it with her. We're getting it tomorrow. So yeah, should be interesting.
Be awesome. It'll be awesome to have you guys here. Can't wait for this weekend. It will be great. What are your final words, man?
Funny stuff. I love we're just having a conversation in front of people, but I sense. Have you seen overnight oats before? Have you heard of them?
No.
Anyways, now that you hear me talking about it, it'll come up on your computer. But they had this like pretty good deal and like on the road food, and it's stuff that I'm willing to put in my body. It's not bad. It's got good stuff, no seed oils and all that stuff. So you will be receiving a package of that at your house as well, by the way. So
just keep on shipping it to my house. Why not?
Yep, get shipped. That's my final words, is literally just letting people in on a conversation that we would have had 5 minutes after this anyways. Why not?
Facts. Curling is an exciting Canadian sport.
That's
David.
Okay, we're not. Sorry, we're not done with it yet. So I was making a joke that I saw some people at the event that I was at this Sunday doing this thing with a bunch of tape, and they're like rubbing it down. I go, that gentleman right there, it could be on the national curling team. And then we all started to kid around. We're like, can you imagine like being a 14-year-old kid and being like, you know what I want to get good at? That curling thing I see on TV. Like that is but the parents are like, he's really good at sweeping. He's really good at sweeping. Anyways, sorry.
Tell me you're gay without telling me you're gay. That's all right. Got it. Final words, Russo.
That was it. Curling is.
You're ending on curling. So we started off with you being a double power bottom, and we're ending with you like in curling. All right, got it.
I was making a joke about curling. You know who likes curling? If you want to deep fake, you could deep fake these balls that the current administration every day gets further and further down the line of a completely disingenuous narrative, when you are looking at real footage and they're calling it a deep fake because their fucking president in charge thinks that this son of a bitch is so out of his rocker, dementia-riddled, frail-handed son of a bitch that freezes because he shits himself, and they call it a deep fake so that their leftist cult followers that have no fucking idea what somebody is supposed to look like, they will believe it and eat it up because they have a cognitive dissonance level of an absolutely mentally special human being that cannot discern what is truth from not truth.
Well, and just like that, the truth will set you free, guys. And as we're going to end it here, just don't trust the government, and you guys have a great night.